Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will understand how to solve quadratic equations by finding the square roots. Okay, so properties of square roots when a is greater than 0 and b is greater than 0. Product property. The square root of the quantity a times b equals the square root of a times the square root of b. Quotient property. The square root of the quantity a divided by b equals square root of a divided by square root of b. So what they're saying is you can break it up into different perfect squares. Okay? So let's take a look here at some examples. Alright, so square root of 98. Okay, so you want to find the largest perfect square. Because yes, 4, maybe 16, but the largest here, 49. I can break that into 49 and 2, so that's 7 square root 2. Okay, look at the next one. I can't simplify 10 or 15 before I do anything, so you multiply the two together, 150. Well, and I know that's divisible by at least 25, so you get square root 25, square root 6, so that's 5 square root 6, and you can't simplify 6 at all, so there's your final answer. Now 8 and square root of 28. Well, 8 I can do square root 4, square root 2, and 28 I can do square root 4, square root 7, so this is 2 square root 2 times 2 square root 7, so that's 4 square root 14, and I cannot do any more, so it's 4 square root 14. Okay, so there's a review of simplifying some radicals. Let's take a look at some more. Okay, rationalizing the denominator. Suppose the denominator of a fraction has the form square root b, or a plus square root b, or a minus square root b, where a and b are rational numbers. The table shows how to eliminate the radical from the denominator. This is called rationalizing the denominator. So if it's just square root b, you multiply by itself. If it's a plus the square root of b, you multiply by a minus the square root of b. If it's a minus square root of b, you multiply by a plus square root of b. The expressions a plus square root of b and a minus square root of b are called conjugates of each other. Their product is always a rational number. Okay, so it says simplify the expression. Okay, so first step, I would do this. Square root of 17 over square root of 12, and that'd be square root of 17 over 4 times the square root of 3, or 2 times the square root of 3, because I can simplify square root of 12 to 2 square root of 3. Now, the only thing in the denominator that is not allowed is the square root of 3, so multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 3. So you get square root of 51 over 2 times 3, which is square root of 51 over 6. Now this one, what I would do is multiply by 9 minus the square root of 7, the conjugate, 9 minus the square root of 7. Distribute the negative 1 on the top, so I'd get negative 9 plus the square root of 7. Now watch how this ends up working. What's 9 times 9? 81. 9 times negative square root of 7, negative 9 square root of 7. Square root of 7 times 9, 9 square root of 7. And then square root of 7 times negative square root of 7, negative square root of 49, which is 7. So those end up canceling out. You get negative 9 plus the square root of 7 over 81 minus 7, 74. Don't make the mistake of leaving your answer like that. you need to remember to make it two separate fractions. Can I simplify the first or the second? No. So this is now your final answer. Okay? Let's take a look at some more. Okay, this one says solve the equation. Add 7. X squared equals 36. Square root both sides. X equals plus or minus 6. Why positive or negative? Because 6 times 6 is 36, and negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. So don't forget that. Okay, so here, divide both sides by 5. X squared equals 16, square root, so you get x equals plus or minus 4. Anytime you're solving an equation, you take a square root. It's positive or negative. Okay? Let's move on. So simplify the expression. Well, I have to multiply by the conjugate. So I multiply the top and bottom by 8 plus the square root of 3. I get 32 plus 4 square root of 3. Now here's the thing. Notice on the problems before that middle canceled out. So you don't need to worry about the middle. For conjugates only, you can multiply just by the first two and the last two. So you get 64 minus the square root of 9. So I have 32 plus 4 square root of 3 over 64 minus 3, which is 61. So I have 32 over 61 plus 4 square root of 3 over 61. I don't think those can be simplified, so we're done. All right. I'm going to do 2 steps and then you bring it in completed. Divide by 3. X minus 2, the quantity x minus 2 squared, equals 40 over 3. Square root. So you need to now try to bring this one in completed. See you guys tomorrow.